In one of my chats with Google Gemini, it said that the reason manufacturers don't sell dual-hose portable air conditioners in Europe is because of the EU. And in case you wonder why I sound even more robotic than usual, it's because my crappy GeForce GTX 1650 GPU can't run a better voice engine or whatever on this free app called VoiceBox, which basically allows you to flip off 11 labs and have no one censor your speech prompts. Anyways, not that I managed to break my newly bought 22,000 BTU beast by a conversion from one-hose to dual-hose functionality, but after spending 1 to 2 days to make it work while suffering from allergy-related itchiness and sore on my eyes, I ended up with a setup that nearly destroyed my unit. I mean, after attaching my cardboard hose box to the unit, the sound of one of the fans or something in the machine started to pitch up, indicating that it was not getting enough air. I had to quickly detach the box, and sure enough, the sound pitched back down. No error code appeared during the situation, and the sound has been as usual ever since, so I guess I dodged a major repair bill. But still, assuming that the EU is a major reason behind dual-hose units not being widely available, I'm just pissed about the whole situation we have in Europe. At least in the US, people aren't so fucking afraid to just use technology to make themselves comfortable, whereas in Europe, we'd rather get hospitalized because of the lack of indoor cooling than admit the impossibility of whatever environmental bullshit we're committing to. For instance, some f***ed politicians in London have started to ban air conditioners in homes during times of extreme heat. I mean, it's even hotter down there than here in Finland, yet some of the deciders in the UK, based on what I've heard from the likes of Sargon of Akkad, have decided to make it even worse for their people. Sure, maybe the goal is to lower the environmental and electrical load of air conditioning, but what I'm pissed about is the total disregard for how people are going to survive the heat waves otherwise. Like, for fuck's sake, if you're about to ban a class of technology, introduce something to replace the banned thing with. You can scream about environmental damage all you want, but when it gets too fucking hot, people will prioritize their own survival. I mean, it's no fucking joke when it's 30+ degrees Celsius inside and you're about to pass out from exhaustion. In France, people have been dying in droves because they're apparently too proud of their ideals to just install adequate air conditioners. According to Google Gemini and some confirming Google searches, there is a class of air conditioners that have no problems cooling homes when it's 40+ degrees Celsius outside, who just make certain components bigger to have more power against the blistering heat outside. There are actual climate classifications for air conditioners called T1, T2, T3, and even T4, according to Google Gemini. T1 units operate between outside temperatures of 18 and 43 degrees Celsius, whereas T2 units operate from 10 to 35 degrees. This is where my unit is at as well. T3 units can operate from 21 to 52 degrees. This is clearly what France would need in their record-breaking heat waves, since as far as I know, people have actually had to turn off some of their few units to prevent malfunction. The information for T1, 2, and 3 comes from a site called zeroavecr.com in case you're curious. Information about T4 comes from some Arabic-looking website, but it's basically a rare, mightier version of T3 used in very specific cases. Europe is basically at a phase where we recognize the issues with summer heat, but still make excuses not to install air conditioning. And when it comes to Finland, I'm pretty sure my neighbors will regard me as an early adopter, if not a pioneer, when they eventually reach their breaking point with the summer heat. People like me just go to the internet and figure it out years, if not decades, before the masses and the politicians finally get the memo. So yeah, I just hope my 22,000 BTU unit stays intact from now on, since it was a half-year project to get all the money for it. And fuck all the foundations and media people that are just there to complain instead of, I don't know, installing adequate AC units in living spaces already. I shouldn't have to do what I've been doing since 2019 to stay cool throughout the summer. 2019 was when I bought my first unit, but my newest unit, which I recently tried my dual-hose conversion with, is the one with 22,000 BTUs. And the fact that I had to buy that kind of beast to cool my place of 34 square meters, regardless of the outside temperature, is quite telling. By the way, the unit I'm talking about is from a Swedish brand called Woods, in case you're interested. They make units that are portable, but as big as refrigerators. I mean, geez, the Americans have figured it out with their window units long ago, and here in Europe, we're still learning the basics of air conditioning. If only I didn't have to rely on these stupid voice clones to sound better than my goofy Finnish accent, and if Americans weren't such over-political asswipes, I would leave this shithole already.